All right. How's it going, everybody? My name is Mason. This is To Be an Engineer, and this is October 8th at 11:27 a.m. This is actually my second time recording this because the first time, so I've been feeling really sick, so I actually had to do some other things off camera. Um, but yeah, no, I haven't been really feeling very well. Um, I don't know if it's necessarily from anxiety because I have really bad test anxiety. Um, which you'd think it would have passed by this point because I've already taken the test, which I will talk about um, in a moment. But yeah, no, just haven't really been feeling well the past couple days. But let's kind of get into the meat and potatoes, right? So today is Wednesday. I did not make a video yesterday on Tuesday the 7th because I was at school all day and I ended up just knocking out really fast when I got home. I mean, I've been up for pretty crazy hours the past couple weeks just prepping for, major projects and exams. And, I have one more exam next Tuesday. And after that, I'll kind of have not obviously not a break. It's college. Um, but I will have an a less compact schedule. Like I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say. What might kind of substitute those exams though, unfortunately, is I am getting a little bit more hours and stuff at work right now, just because there's a lot of people sick right now too. So uh, we'll see how that kind of works. Um, hopefully it's not super duper bad, and I can still kind of make sure I keep on top of uh my homework and such. Sorry, I'm very scatterbrained right now. I actually didn't really sleep at all last night either. My girlfriend, her car broke down, so I had to wake up at around 5 this morning so that I could take her to work. She works pretty far away. So I had to drive to work. I drove back home, and I've kind of been just kind of waking up for a little while. I mean, it is. I mean, obviously it's 11:30. I've been awake this entire time, but like I haven't really gotten any homework yet. Which, kind of looking at what my schedule is for today, I have about. I have about 5 homework assignments I need to get done. I don't need to get them all done today. I can get them done between today and tomorrow. And then obviously not this isn't counting like my overall exam prep for this following Tuesday exam, right? Um, but let's talk about this Tuesday, right? So recapping from log two, I had a quiz, and then I had my test. So the quiz was for my morning class, 10 to 11:15, right? So like I said, I was feeling really sick. So I was actually about 5 minutes late to class, and um, I'm typically never late for class, but you know, it's kind of hard when you are doing what you're doing. You can't really focus on driving, um, and especially walking to class. I mean, uh, but let's see. Oh yeah, but at least with this class, it's mostly okay because the way that this class is structured is that so it's from 10 to 11:15. You got an hour and 15 minutes. The first, I don't know why I'm saying first hour. The almost entire class, that hour chunk of time, the professor does just an overall review of content. You know, it's not all pertaining to the quiz. Most of it is stuff that you're learning from this week and a previous week. If it's a bigger subject, obviously he'll either pick either or, and then you'll quiz on some piece of that content, right? Or pieces of that content. And you'll do that within the last 15 minutes of the course or of the class, right? And so I got to class a little bit late. He's already in the middle of lecture. I already know what like specific topic he's going over, and this is the one that I was actually pretty comfortable with for that quiz. So I was kind of just like, all right. I mean, I really didn't have too much of a worry that that I didn't make or that I missed like the first kind of chunk of it. I really didn't even take many notes for the rest of that section that I went over. We went over a couple other notes and whatnot, and then it gets to about 10:55, right? So 5 minutes before we start our allotted quiz time, right? So I start kind of putting, my notebook away, and I start taking out like my other quiz notebook. Um, And I'm prepping all that stuff. It's quiz 5 or 6, whatever. Put my name, you know, um, kind of start getting in, kind of refreshing stuff in my brain, trying to make sure I remember everything properly. Recount my formulas, and the professor just keeps kind of going on with lecture. And so there's been times where like obviously he's gone over a bit, maybe a minute or a few minutes or whatever, but um he'll give us as much time as he possibly can for the quiz, or how much as he thinks we'll need. Which obviously it's the professor. Sometimes he's wrong, and he might not give us enough time. That was how our first quiz was. We were very rushed for our first quiz, and what's the problem, right, is that from 10 or from 11 to 11:15 you have 15 minutes. Even if he does want to give you extra time, it's not his own classroom, right? It is a college class, so there are other professors needing that room afterwards. So as we're done with this course, there are literally people waiting outside for you to get out, so that they can start their course, right? Or start their class. I don't know. I mean, course class semantics, right? And so, we get to 11:05, and I'm looking at my phone because he posts the quiz question on your phone so that he doesn't have to put it up on the board. So you have your phone like right here, and then you lay your phone on like the table so that you can see that you're not, cheating or whatever. So you have your phone right here, and then you just look at the question, you write it down, and then you turn your phone around, you get rid of it, and then at the end you'll take a picture of your test or your quiz or whatever, and then you submit it in. And you have to do that while you're in class, like obviously. So we're doing that, and or no, we're not doing that. That's what I'm trying to say. I told you I'm still so scatterbrained. I've really had, I mean, even me going to sleep decently early yesterday, I've probably only had about 4 hours of sleep. So I'm debating honestly if I might have to go to school tomorrow. This is a side tangent because I might have to take my girlfriend to school because of her car, obviously. But I don't have any classes tomorrow. My uh, Tuesday class isn't because of, exams, right? And the or my morning class, and then the afternoon class, he made it an online class. So, um, but yeah, going back to it, so and then it gets to about like 11:10, and I'm like, I don't think we're quizzing today, which is fine. I just wish that we knew that. I didn't spend a lot of time reviewing for this quiz, like taking time away from my test that I'm going to talk about in a moment for this quiz, because I knew most of the material within that first week that I was kind of reviewing it, or that first couple days in which I was reviewing it. So I wasn't like too peeved on the time, but it's just the basis of it, the moral basis, right? Like you just wish you knew because you could have been doing other things with that time, even if it wasn't a lot. But oh well, right? At least there was no quiz. So we finished that class, and then from 11:15, when that class ended, to 4, and that's when the other class started, and that's when my test starts. So I had a huge chunk of time to prep. So from about 11:15 to probably like 11:45, I was just kind of relaxing for a little bit. I've been going aggressively for the past uh I think it's been about 3 weeks now. So being able to kind of, or about 2.5. It's been good. It was good to kind of just, relax, go get a bag of chips or something and just drink a water and watch some videos on your phone for a bit, right? Um, then I kind of went into more broad stroke studying, going through my cheat sheet, definitely making sure I have every formula that I think I need, having all of the information that I think I would need for the exam, and then, doing certain practice problems and making sure that I'm still guessing and checking properly. I would definitely say that this exam was probably one of the harder ones I've had to study for because of this the severe lack of communication between the professor, the syllabus, and just the expectations of the course, especially for the homework. So I had a very hard time kind of figuring out what specifically I was supposed to look through. When I spoke to the professor privately, he said to go specifically into the problems that he suggested in class. So that's what I kind of focused on the most, that and the homework problems. So that time goes by. I study for as much as my brain really can take. Frankly, I have this saying that's like, if you don't know it, you don't know it. And if you're studying the day before, or in this case, studying 3, 4 hours before, like, you're not gonna. you're not gonna pick up something new. You might remember some small details or whatever, but you're not gonna be able to understand the topic for what engineering is going to expect you to answer, right? It's not just a simple homework problem where it's like, here's this variable, here's this variable. Maybe you have some actual image or something that you look at. But in actual engineering tests, you are going to have a lot more advanced um, questions where it might use different topics and different formulas that you have to know how each of them work individually in a way that you can now use them in a conjoined purpose. So um, I didn't want to like just stress myself out by trying to cram stuff that I knew that I wasn't gonna remember. If anything, I just wrote a few things within the margins of my cheat sheet, just some kind of quick like reminders, like don't forget this, like this key point. Um, look out for this and whatever, 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 right? So we get into the test and not good, not good. The first page, so the first page was pretty 50-50. Some of the questions I recognized pretty immediately. I was able to get through those ones pretty quick. But then some of them had like these secondary, like ABC, whatever, these secondary questions within them that I had no clue what they were necessarily asking for. So I kind of just did those as much as I possibly could. Moving on into the second page. The first question, I was a bit confused on it. I had to do some drawing. Um, I think I might have gotten close to what I was expected, but I wasn't entirely sure what the question was asking. And that was the problem with this course too, again, like what I was just saying. The expectations of what you are supposed to do are lacking significantly. So, with this question, I'm assuming that he wrote this question or he worded it in a way that he wanted it, um, my professor. I just didn't really know exactly what was needed to fulfill all the requirements for the test, basically. And then there's another question on that second page, and I had never seen that question ever. Through all of the homeworks and through all of the review questions that he provided us, I'd never seen something like it. So, I mean, I really just kind of wrote what I could write, try to feel certain formulas out, seeing if anything were matching the specific requirements. But that one I really was not sure at all. And then moving on to the last question on the third page. So it was about an 8 question test, right? Which each of them, some of them having like, split parts. So around, maybe 12, 14 questions actually. But um, going into that last question, so question 8, I recognized the format of the question, if that makes sense, like what it looked like visually, but I did not recognize the questions that it was asking. When I saw the question, I assumed what the questions, or when I saw the format of the question and like the image, right? I already assumed what the questions were going to be. So when I went down and I looked at the A B C D whatever, it was not what I was expecting it to ask. So it kind of threw me off for a second. And I answered them to the best of my ability again, but I'm not entirely sure if my reasoning for them was as sound as I was hoping it would be. Um, but again, and I think it was good I didn't record yesterday because I was still pretty emotional after test. I mean, that was pretty disappointing to go into a test trying to be as confident as you possibly can and just basically getting punched in the face. But that's in the best possible way that I can explain that is engineering 101. It's being punched in the face pretty consistently, but just knowing how to get back up. This test is supposedly going to be curved pretty heavily. Um, from what our TA said, it does not look good for how all of us have done, which means it looks great for the curve. But again, it's like you don't ever want to rely on the curve, even though you kind of do sometimes. Um, but that's where I'm kind of at right now. I'm kind of trying to just chill out a little bit today. Like I said, I have these couple homework assignments I need to do. I'll probably be able to get a huge chunk of them done pretty soon. I do have to leave around 4:30 ish to go pick up my girlfriend again from work, and then I'll bring her home, and then I might try and do some other stuff towards the end of the night. Like I said, I might be going to school tomorrow, might not be. If anything, if I If I do, I'll do work there. If I don't, I'll just stay home, kind of try and relax a little bit more, and then I'll have my online class towards the end of the day at 4 to 5:15. Um, I don't really have too much else to really talk about today necessarily. This one's kind of like a log 3/4. I'll just call it log 3 still for now because, obviously I didn't post one yesterday, but I'm not going to post anything else tonight. I won't have really any other updates other than just I finished my homework. So, um, yeah, what else am I kind of doing right now? I need to do my application for some internship stuff, obviously. The previous internship that I was in, um, this summer, um, invited me to actually reapply for this following summer, which I definitely think I might. I really enjoyed my time there, and I do kind of want to improve my skills within the field that they were offering for me there, which is, CAD services. And so yeah, I definitely enjoyed my time there, and I would definitely love to go back. Um, but obviously, yeah, I do want to explore other opportunities as well. Maybe I might apply to quite a few places, trying to see just, what people think about me, what my image as a worker looks like. Um, what else? Not really much else, honestly. Yeah, no, like I said, I basically just knocked out when I got home, so there really wasn't any updates on anything, really. I didn't do any homework when I got home. I didn't do any homework when I was at school yesterday. Obviously, I was studying. So, really, today is just me kind of chilling out for these first kind of couple hours because I was literally just like driving to and from uh, my girlfriend's work and, coming back home and just trying to wake up, and still kind of feeling sick and a little groggy, right? So I think I'm in a good place now. It's about 11:45 right now, so if I can probably get maybe four of these assignments done. One of them is like a mini quiz, which that one probably will take me a little bit more time because I need to prepare for it, obviously. That one I might honestly wait and leave that till like Thursday or Friday, maybe. And then obviously this doesn't count for studying CPE homework, which I will probably do like homework one. So for the exam on Tuesday, it's homeworks 1 through 6. That's the frame in which we have. So that is 5 quizzes. I think I don't think we quizzed on, or no, it's 6 quizzes. It's nope, it's 5 quizzes because we didn't quiz yesterday. It's 5 quizzes, 6 homeworks. Really not a lot of content that I have to go over necessarily. Um, because a lot of it is just very similar questions, different scenarios. But, I'll go over that. I'll probably try and maybe do homework 1 and 2 today. And yeah, actually, I might write that down really quick. So I'll try and do maybe homework 1 and homework 2. Um, but yeah, that's really mostly all I got. Sorry. Um, I'm trying to think if there's any other updates necessary that I have. Oh, the new World of Warcraft event came out. That's been kind of fun. I played about an hour and a half of it, Pretty fun, honestly. I do like remix stuff. It's pretty cool. Um oh, I did want to talk about um the channel really quick. So I'll pull that up right now. Like this is kind of cool. I mean, I do kind of like putting all these videos and stuff. We have 5 views on the first one, 4 on the second one, and we actually have a subscriber, which I thought was kind of neat. Um, Obviously, I would assume probably 1 or 2 of these views for each of them is probably from me, but still cool nonetheless. And for whoever is that one subscriber, hopefully maybe you're in college too, and you're kind of dealing with some of these same struggles as me, and hopefully these videos kind of help you kind of know that you're not alone in this, and that you can navigate this. It is difficult. It's so difficult. Take it from me, who is in electrical engineering, which is definitely a harder degree. That you can make it through it. You can get you can manage your time effectively, and you can still be a student and still have some sort of a free time um and without, absolutely obliterating your 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 grades, right, or your mental health, and this is still something actually that I struggle with every single day, and it's something that I'm still trying to necessarily improve on, and hopefully I can start trying to do that once I'm out of exam season. Once I'm done with all the midterm stuff, I can actually move into living, um, which would be really good. And I'm definitely super excited for this exam, this one on the following Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, to be over with. Even though I do feel a lot more confident about this one, but I'm gonna cut it here. I do need to do some homework. I need to do some prepping. I need to wash my sheets too. Actually, I gotta do some kind of cleaning and stuff. Like I talked about, on my floor or whatever. I got some stuff just lying around that I need to throw out and reorganize and all that. And now that I'm kind of easing out of this exam stuff, I can kind of start you know being a human again. Which is definitely difficult for a college student. But yeah, um, yeah, stay positive. You're gonna get through it. Um, whatever degree you're in. If it's literally engineering to business to something in the creative arts or whatever, medicine, it is hard. Every degree has its difficulties. Every degree has its good parts. You know, hold on to those good parts. Hold on to what your passion is. For me, I love engineering. Some of the people suck. The work sometimes sucks, but I love what it is. I love what I'm doing technically. Um, Sometimes not mathematically, but sometimes actually mathematically. Um, but hold on to those good things. Hold on to what your future might look like. I'm really excited to be done for like what my future will look like when I'm done with school. And that's what I kind of look forward to whenever I'm in my kind of more negative points, right? You will get through this. Just keep trying, keep your head up and keep studying, get your stuff done. But yeah, so this was log 3. This it is currently 11:49 a.m. We're almost in the p.m. afternoon. It's currently October 8th. Um, yeah, and my name is Mason, and this is To Be an Engineer. Bye now.